Dolores Huerta, you are a civil rights icon. Thank you so much for joining us at the Forbes Power Women Summit.
Well, you know, my youngest son says, "Mom, you're not an icon, you're an icon."
And I can, because you can do anything?
Well, because I can do as much as I possibly can. I set my mind to it, and I think that's what the Forbes Summit is about women that can.
That women that can. You coined the phrase, the catchphrase, "Si se puede," which a lot of our viewers might recognize in its English translation, "Yes, we can," thanks to a politician that stole it from you. Did Barack Obama get "Yes, we can" from you?
Yes, he did. And the first time I met President Obama, he said, "I stole your slogan," and I said, "Yes, you did."
What drove you to say "Si se puede" for the first time? What turned that into your catchphrase?
Well, I met with a group of professional Latinos, and we were doing a campaign in Arizona where Cesar Chavez had been fasting for many, many days, and asked them to please support us. And they said, "No, in Arizona you can't do this, only in California." And I said, "No, yes you can in California. Sí se puede in California." And that's how it started. Mm-hmm.
As you reflect on your career, you are 95 years old. Is there an accomplishment that you think about today that stands out among the others, or a victory that you've been reflecting on?
Well, I'm a member of the Feminist Majority Foundation, and we started a Feminization of Power campaign several decades ago to get more women elected to office. And now, as we look around the country, we do see that we have women that are, if not half of the majority, in some legislators, like in Nevada, I think they're all women now in the state legislature. And so we have women governors now, we have women senators, and I think this is what the goal was, to get more women elected. But I do have to say that not all women are feminists, but I think that is important to think about that. You know, Coretta Scott King said, "We will never have peace in the world until women take power." And the feminization of power, I think, is going in that direction, because we want women that are feminists to take the political power that we need, not only in our country, but around the world.
It's an important distinction between women's power and feminist power, because to be feminist is, of course, to seek equity for all.
Yeah, and number one, but feminists really believe in women's right to choose, and women have a right over their own body. They also believe in respecting people for poor people, for people of color, etc. And so, and I think for a civil society and a democratic society.
As you talk about women's ability to control what happens to their own body, as you talk about respect for people of color, we're talking during a week in which the Supreme Court lifted restrictions on California's ability to do immigration raids. And Justice Sonia Sotomayor dissented on this decision, and she said in part, "We should not have to live in a country where the government can seize anyone who looks Latino, speaks Spanish, or appears to work a low-wage job." What is your reaction to the Supreme Court and these ICE raids?
Well, I think it's terrible what is happening right now, and for the Supreme Court to support that, because people of color are just open to become interrogated, to be detained, to be kidnapped. I mean, taking away all the civil rights of people of color, especially the Latino community and the Black community, that are the targets right now of all of these ICE raids that are going on right now. And it is, I mean, the economy has been really devastated by these ICE raids, especially in California, and especially the Latino community. But, you know, the other thing too, when we talk about immigrants, I like to remind people, I have a great-grandmother that came from Spain. I have another great-grandfather that came from England. But on my father's side of the family, you know, the indigenous people were here to greet the immigrants that arrived here. So these are the true immigrants. It's not the indigenous people of color are the true immigrants of North America and South America. And yet they are the ones that are being targeted and being detained and imprisoned. And this is totally wrong, because these are the people that really contribute. Not only are they picking out our food every single day in the very hot sun and in the bitter cold of the winter, preparing the land and planting and preparing the food that's going to feed us. And also they do the work in our homes, taking care of our children, doing the landscaping, building our buildings, and yet we are treating them as if they were people that really didn't matter.
At Forbes, we've talked about how immigrants can create some of the most innovative and high growth companies. There's tremendous entrepreneurial innovation within this community. What is your message for folks watching who are watching these raids and feel helpless but want to do something?
Well, I just have to say people have to become involved politically because a lot of people are not involved and they really don't know what do we do? How do we counter what's happening right now? There's the only way that we can do this, and that's with civic action and for people to get involved. In California right now, we are working on a Proposition 50, which will change the makeup of the Congress of the United States of America. And if we can get a more liberal Congress, then we can really stop some of the terrible things. I mean, it was the Congress that voted $45 billion to go after immigrants and to detain them in imprisonment. And this is wrong. Because the immigrants contribute not only by the work that they do, as I mentioned, but also the tax dollars that they pay and the consumption that they add to the economy. So going after the people who do the hard work is wrong.
What's your message for young activists? You got a very young start on your career, and there are young people right now who want to create change. From your career, what's your best advice for young change makers today in 2025?
I'd just say to them, please get involved. And you have to take that first step, get involved in organizing. It can be for a women's organization. It can be for an organization that is helping immigrants. It could be people that are working on the environment. There are so many areas that we can get involved in with our LGBTQ community that is also being targeted by the administration, and they also need support. But we need volunteers. Everybody needs volunteers. My foundation, the Dolores Huerta Foundation, we're always looking for volunteers to help us do the heavy work that we do. So there's many, many needs out there. And you might say, well, I've never done this before. I don't know how to do it. But okay, once you get involved, you will learn.
Get involved. And there are so many issues to get involved in, as you just outlined. Where are you spending the most of your time right now?
Well, right now we're focusing on all of the political stuff because we have this huge campaign against our immigrant community, and we're doing everything that we can to support them and help them. And then politically, getting engaged in the voting issues. We're going to focus right now on Prop 50, and also we have a big youth group, and our youth group is also very involved. Prop 50, of course, is the proposition in California that is going to, we're going to redistrict California so that we get more liberal people on the Congress of the United States.
You are 95 years old. Where does your energy come from? You don't look 95. You have the energy of a young activist. Where do you draw that energy from?
Well, I think in all of the work that we need to do, because we know that democracy is being threatened right now, and we've got to step up. Everybody has to step up to save our democracy. My great-grandfather was in the Civil War on the Union side. My father was in the Army and in the Navy. He was in the Navy. My brothers were in the Navy. So all of my family has been very, very involved in keeping and saving democracy. And now is our moment that we have to save democracy.
Now is our moment to save democracy. Do you reflect on your legacy and what you want future generations? You talk about your great-grandfather and your father and your family. What do you want your grandkids and your great-grandkids and their counterparts to remember and know about you?
Well, just that I was an activist, that I was an organizer, and I would hope that all of them take part of their lives to do the same type of work, because we know that there is so much need, not only in our country, in the United States of America, but throughout the world. And I think of all of us working together in a collective way, that we can really make the world a better place. It just takes us doing the work.
That's a great place to end.
Si se puede.
Si se puede. Thank you so much for sitting down with us.